prayers up for everybody that lost their lives. That's all I got to say. Prayers up for everybody that lost their lives. Golly. Brother, talk about a massacre.
Woke up this morning, been in that shine, whole team got the glow, you can see it in the stride, got me feeling brand new, feeling brand new, got me feeling brand new, yeah.
What up, YouTube? It's your boy JusRzd, and today we are here to review Solo Leveling Season 2, Episode 11, which just premiered yesterday, and man, oh man. Bruh, I heard somebody say the other day, I don't remember exactly who it was, but I heard somebody say the other day that Solo Leveling, if it didn't have the animation as clean as it had, the animation, that the story would be mid. I don't know if the story would necessarily be mid, but I get the point that they were attempting to make. I get the point that they were trying to make, as far as saying, like, it's the fact that the storytelling is what it is, but it's the fact that the animation is top tier. Same thing with Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer has top tier animation, just like Solo Leveling, and it makes the story it makes the story hold you a little bit more, because what you're looking at is so beautiful. And Solo Leveling Season 2, Episode 11. Whew. Whew. Brother. Prayers up for everybody that lost their lives. That's all I got to say. Prayers up for everybody that lost their lives. Golly. Brother, talk about a massacre. Like I said, I already said in the last review, in the episode 10 review, that this arc with the whole ants and the Jeju Island was giving very Hunter x Hunter Chimera arc, and I said that wrong. Was giving very Hunter x Hunter Chimera ant arc. And brother, this version of Meruem, the Ant King, or the Ant Prince, or whatever you want to call him, fam, he ain't taking no prisoners whatsoever. Good Lord, he ain't taking no prisoners whatsoever. But this particular episode starts right where the last one ended, with pretty much the Ant Prince or Ant King, whatever you want to label him, pretty much destroying the rest of the squad, where he decapitated the healer last episode, and right at the end. And so the other two that are still there, preparing to fight, trying to prepare to fight at least, and didn't even stand a chance. Didn't even really get a good look at the Ant King. He just was like appearing as like a cloud that was like a smoky cloud that was kind of floating around the area. That's how fast he was moving. Fam, tore through both of those individuals quickly and decapitated both of them. He enjoys going for the head. Shout out to Thor, but he enjoys going for the head. Pause if necessary. But man, whew, got them together real quick, and then we see their backup arrives shortly thereafter. As the story progresses from that point, we see the backup arriving, trying to figure out, and it's the guy from Japan with the ice powers and the mask, and his partner. They arrive to pretty much back up the squad that got decapitated by the Ant King, because they lost contact with him. They showed up to see what was going on, and they see the carnage of ants, and they're like, well, it don't look like they had no issue with all these ants that they slaughtered. So what? And then all of a sudden they come upon the decapitated bodies. They get freaked out, and then the ice hunter, the ice magic using hunter, senses the Ant King is still afoot and still in the area, and pretty much tries to he senses his aura and then tries to, I don't know if he was trying to attack him or if he was trying to protect himself by using his ice, but I don't think he made it either. The way they showed it, it didn't look like he nor the homie made it either. And boy, oh boy, yeah, packed them up. And then we cut to the Korean team, the S rank hunters that went inside the nest, and they're dealing with the ants. They're dealing with bigger white ants at this point that are on the same level as S rank hunters, so they have to kind of strategize a way to take them out. Because they're all S rank hunters, but if the ants are on the level of S rank hunters, they're still attacking them like wild beasts, but they gotta pretty much have a coordinated plan of attack to make sure that they're not getting packed out. And they use the leader of the White Tiger Guild. They use his ability to see how far they had to go to get to the queen. And they saw pretty much the rest of her army that was in the burrows of the nest, and they start going crazy. And they were just like, you know what? There's no real use to try to hold back at this point. And they just start going crazy. I mean, the leader of the White Tiger Guild, he goes all out and transformed into his full magical beast transformation, which looks pretty cool. I'm not gonna hold you. The fire, the leader of the Hunters Guild, he starts going crazy with his fire. Then we got the other dude that turns into a giant with the shield. He's blocking them and throwing them around. We got Hae-in using her sword to cut him up. Like, it was just dope. We got the archery in the back. Everybody had their moment. Everybody got showcased really, really well. They got to the queen and they were able to take her out. Hae-in took her out. Even the healer, he was there to make sure everybody was alive. They had the dude that was down there to record everything, still there, still alive. And the moment right before Hae-in takes out the queen, she makes some type of bellowing scream that sounded like she was alerting the rest of the ants, and apparently she was crying out for help. So all the ants start coming back into the nest, and it's funny because the leader of the Hunters Guild realized he sensed when his barrier got broken, because remember he had put a barrier up as soon as they entered the nest, so that way none of the ants could come back, and he felt it break, and he was just like, why did my barrier break? He was just like, even if the ants came back, they shouldn't have been able to break the barrier. And he was just like, well, we got to finish the job quick. And so they end up taking her out. They took out the ant queen. Hae-in took her out very quickly. And then they're all standing there kind of basking in the glory of their victory. And then the Ant King pulls up. Pulls up so cold and so cool and so calm and collected. And it's funny because the Ant Queen was huge, but the new Ant King, he's like a little bit bigger than he's bigger than humans, but he's not like as big as the Ant Queen was. Like, the Ant Queen looks like a huge magical beast. He just looks like the dude who grows giant is bigger than him when he goes giant. But the Ant King is so freaking vicious and deadly. It's ridiculous. So he pulls up. First person he takes out is Hae-in. He just pretty much smacks her into a pillar in the cave. And then just proceeds to take out the rest of the party. He slices up the leader of the hunter. He slices up the leader of the Hunter Guild. He slices up the leader of the White Tiger Guild. He rips the arms off the giant dude. And then the giant dude's able to come back because, of course, the healer. And he beats up the archer. Took him completely out, unfortunately. And the way he just dismantled that whole squad of S-ranked hunters was just disrespectful. And I was just sitting there like, yo, what is happening? this is amazing. Like, the way it looked, the way he dismantled them was crazy. And it was just, it was something to see. It was something to see in a good way. Like, it was crazy. And once he noticed that the healer was healing, he packed the healer right on up out of there. And the leader of the White Tiger Guild tried to stop him. And it's crazy the way they did it. They gave him such a moment because he didn't want to come back to Jeju Island in the first place because his homie got killed the last time they were there. And so they gave him a moment before they went to Jeju Island where he was talking to the leader of the White Tiger Guild because they were all homies. And they lost a homie during the third raid. And they were just like, yeah, he was like, man, I'm not trying to go back. I'm going to just work a regular job, this, that, and third. But then he decided at the last minute to come back. And the Ant King literally put his arm through his body and took him out. Yeah, just straight took him out. And the leader of the White Tiger Guild, he was still alive. He got sliced up a lot, but he was still alive. He was going to try to put up an effort. But the Ant King pulled up on him and started talking to him. It was just like, he just was repeating what the S-rank healer was telling him. He was just like, your hoon run. Your home run. He was just like, what, a talking ant? Then once he realized what he was saying, he was like, you bastard. But it was just funny. Then the ant was like, look, y'all killed our queen. Killing y'all ain't gonna, like, unaliving y'all ain't gonna bring her back. And it's not gonna suffice to just slaughter y'all because y'all not strong enough. Where's y'all king? I'm trying to pull up. Where's y'all king? I need to fight and unalive him since y'all unalived our queen. And bruh, then he stopped and he said, seems like there's someone stronger outside on the island. Maybe that's your king. And then he leaves and pulls up on the head of the Japanese guild that is on the island. And fam, the way he dismantled just any and everybody. And the leader of the Japanese guild had a homie with him, and he was just like, hey bro, go. The interesting part about this is while he was pulling up to the leader of the Japanese guild, the leader of the Japanese guild had contacted his Hunters Guild Association leader back in Japan, and they already had a plan in place to try to pretty much take credit for the Jeju Island incident. The way they set up the plan and agreed to the plan, I guess they figured that the Korean strike team was going to not succeed, and if they weren't going to succeed, that they had a second strike team on the boats surrounding the island, so that way they could get all the credit. So what was pretty much supposed to happen is once the Korean team failed, they were supposed to rendezvous back with the second strike team, and then all of them were going to attack with the second strike team and pretty much take credit for the entire mission. And I was just like, dang, that's kind of messed up when you think about it. Korea out here fighting for their life, and y'all just like, yeah, y'all was probably gonna lose anyway. I was like, dang. So of course, once the Ant King leaves, he was the first one to get there. But once the Ant King leaves to go pull up on the Japanese, the leader of the Japanese guild, the rest of the ants, the big white ants and the flyers and all that stuff, are headed back to the Queen's carcass. And of course, who's at the Queen's carcass? The defeated S-rank team that's currently in shambles because of the Ant King. And so, yeah, they're trying to fend them off best they can, but they are struggling because they are very wounded and very hurt, and they just lost their healer. So it's just like they don't know what they're going to be able to do. And right when all hope seems to be lost, the shadows that Sun Jin Woo attached to his people pull up, block the ants. Then they cut to Sun Jin-woo sitting on top of a building, just looking out upon the world. He stands up and says exchange. And he's about to use his ability to pull up on Jeju Island. So next episode, maybe the finale episode, but it's definitely going to be, because the first season was only 12 episodes, so I'm assuming the second season is only going to be 12 episodes. So this next episode is going to be Sun Jin-woo pulling up on the island. And brother, I already know all hell finna break loose more than it already has once Sun Jin-woo pull up, cause this finna be crazy. One of the things that was of note though is once the leader of the Japanese guild felt the bloodlust and the aura from the Ant King, he was just like, I only felt this one other time, and then he remembers it was when he was fighting Sun Jin-woo. And so, man, 10 out of 10 episode for sure. I'd give it 20 out of 10 to be honest. Just the way they did this whole battle and set up with the strategy and everything, and then the Ant King just dismantling all of that they thought they had planned and prepared. And so yeah, I like I said, I'd give it a 20 out of 10, but I can't do no more than 10 out of 10. But yeah, this episode was phenomenal. Super. It had some character development, had some moments in there where we got to see the S-rank hunters from Korea go crazy. And then the Ant King showed up and he went crazy. And so it was just like, yo, we can't win for losing. But man, let me know in the comments below if you've seen it, because this episode was crazy. Peak animation. Peak anime. Peak top tier. Solo leveling is one of the ones. I don't agree with the story being mid. I feel like Solo Leveling has a more interesting story than certain aspects. I'll say that. Certain aspects of Solo Leveling story is a lot more interesting than, say, a Demon Slayer. I feel like Demon Slayer story is kind of mid and just kind of like a typical shonen. But because the animation is so beautiful, it hooks you and it locks you in. And you end up caring about the characters as you go along that journey. So I definitely don't agree that Solo Leveling is mid at all. Especially not the story. Especially not all the aspects of the story. But yeah. Man. And Jeju Island is kind of proving my point. It's just, even though it's like an advanced version of the Chimera Ant arc from Hunter x Hunter, they're doing a good job doing it. They're doing a good job portraying it. So I'm tapped in. Let me know in the comments below if you're tapped in, if you've seen the episode, if you've been watching season 2 up until this point. Man, it's phenomenal. It's been going phenomenal. Season 1 was dope. Season 2 has just... I didn't think they could up the ante from what they did in season 1, but so far, they have. So far, they have. Between the Demon Monarch, between him collecting more people for his Shadow Army, to now all of a sudden, this Jeju Island. Whew. This Jeju Island. And I know what gonna happen very soon in the future, but I haven't seen how we get there, so I'm interested to see this fight between Sun Jin-woo and the Ant King, because you already know they're gonna square up. But don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell so that way you can be notified anytime we drop a new video on the channel, which is every day. Stay tapped in, stay tuned in, stay locked in, and never forget, it's FreeSoul to the show free. Let's get it.